All right, I hope everyone's having a fantastic day, morning, night, wherever you are, whatever time it is. I hope you're doing good. By the time you're seeing this video, Persona 5 The Phantom X should be out globally. Besides for SCA servers, it should be out for everyone. Now, in this video, what we're going to talk about is all the ways to get stronger and make your units better, besides if you're just bad at the game and you just have a skill issue, right? We're going to talk about all the ways that you can make your units themselves stronger and make them do more damage. For example, if I drop them in alone in a team and I just use the skill 1, what and how many ways are you able to make your unit stronger and do more damage or heal more or support more, however you want to talk about it. If you do enjoy the videos, I would appreciate if you guys actually like this video and subscribe so that you guys could get more Persona 5X content in the future, because I plan to make a lot more. I probably just finished stream, but I'm probably going to do a lot more streams, so I hope to see you guys in future streams. If you want to check the VOD out, you can check the VOD out, and of course all my previous videos. Now let's really start. The most concise and very clear way to get your character stronger is to level up. Now, I'm going to kind of go on a progression of like when you should do these things, right? So when is it important to level up and all that good stuff? The first thing you really are going to do is leveling up. So this is going to go both for character and for the weapon. If you see, the weapon itself is giving 779 attack, okay? Now, if we check his stats, he's at 5,000. The fact that it's giving this much attack, 780, right, is really good when you consider this is going to be able to multiply against a lot of other things. So it's very important to get your weapon up as much as the character level. And the max character level is going to be 80. So you're going to do this as you can, and it's going to be able to ascend. Okay, you're going to get your ascensions in, or I guess you could say your breakthroughs, whatever you want to say, every 10 levels. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, every 10 levels, and you're going to be able to go and do that. Now, to really grind all this stuff we're going to talk about today, it's very simple. You go to this, you're going to see all of it here. It should translate in a second. Probably you should translate better, but I don't know what happened, but you'll see all the stuff you're going to need over here. Okay, so everything you need is going to all be either here, here, or here. Okay, so get your character XP, get your weapon XP, and you're going to be able to get your units up in level. That's going to give you the good bulk of stats early on, and the most important, right? Now, after doing this, it's going to be gear. Now, early on, you do not need to chase gear that much. Gear early on is something that you're going to get through a lot of the palaces. You're going to get enough. The key word is enough. You're going to get enough, and you don't really need to worry too much about the Arcana cards early on, okay? Just try to get your set bonuses. Try to get the good main stats. So for DPSs, if they scale on attack, and the middle ones either get damage increase or like an attack increase, right? If possible. If not, like crit and all that good stuff. All the main damage type of main stats that you could get. And that's basically going to be the way to go early on. Okay, you're just going to basically do that, right? You're going to basically not farm gear early on with actual stamina. You're only going to really get them through palaces and through anything else that you get them from, and build your sets through that. Okay, so it's pretty obvious. It's you put a puzzle together. Damaging unit, your DPS, oh, make them do more damage. Healer, oh, make them heal more. Oh, support, make them support more. Debuffer, make them debuff more, right? Very simple in like early game. Now later game, obviously they're going to be more precise. Sets are going to matter more, but I'm not really focusing too much on late game. I just want to give you guys an introduction, and I'm saying this a lot, but guys, there's a lot of people that this is their first gacha, which is insane. It's actually insane. So try to get your stats up with the main stats. The main stats are very important. The sides, I believe, you can't really change. But this, like, go for, like, you even this. It's the main stats are the same. But the middle ones, try to just use the ones that level up the ones that make the most sense for whatever unit it is. Joker is a DPS, so try to focus around damage type of things. For example, very important in the future, like crit rate, crit damage, attack percent damage bonus, curse damage bonus, right? All these good stuff while having your set bonuses. So that's basically going to be it for gear. Now, one thing actually that's probably I should mention if I'm being real. When should you grind gear? Well, you're going to grind it pretty early on. However, you're going to start minimum level 60. I think a lot of people are also recommending level 70. But if you start at level 60, that's fine, right? And you're going to have to use your stamina potions. Do not, I say do not, use your stamina refreshes on the left before you reach at least level 60 to then be able to get a good amount of the gold Arcana cards. When you're at level 70, it's going to be a lot better in terms of the rate that it's going to drop at. But if you're like min-maxing, then maybe level 80, because this is when you're really getting 2 to 3, right? So that's going to be good. But at bare minimum, I would say level 60. You want to be getting 1 gold card and with the chance of 2, but 60 onwards is when you're going to start grinding gear. Okay, I think that's the consensus. Many people are saying 60, but you could also start at 70. It's going to be up to you, right? It's really going to be up to you what you want to do in that instance. But I think 60, 70 is the perfect range, all things considered. Now, next up, let's really get into a couple more specific things. And as this is for global, we're not going to talk about this since this is a CN feature. So we're going to get into the skills. You're going to want to level up the skills, right? And you're going to want to make sure you're leveling up the right ones. Okay, for example, if a unit has a really good ult like Joker, you're going to want to level up that ult. If they have a really good skill 3, level up the skill 3. But make sure you don't level them up too high, too early, because that might burn out the materials you have. So keeping it like kind of concise and with the right ones. For example, if you're going to build Luful, I think most people would agree that it's like the ult is the most important one because it's going to heal and give a damage boost. And the yellow text are the ones that actually get boosted. So whenever you increase a skill level, it's actually going to increase the level of that skill. Who would have thought, right? So do it mainly for your main composition. I'm going to make a team build video probably tomorrow or like today for you guys. And we're going to really get through that. Now then, the most important way maybe for a lot of things and something that could definitely change units completely is also getting their dupes. So especially for 4 stars, it's going to change them a lot. For Luful, it's really good because he's going to get 2 different like times where he's able to give more fire damage. And when you're using Luful with on, it's going to be really good having up to an extra in total 50% fire damage increase. So dupes for 4 stars, especially the good 4 stars, are very important. However, for 5 stars, yeah, they're also just as important. So basically let's go into the dupes right here. If I could click on it. All right. The dupe 1, for example, is just going to give everyone an attack increase, right? So things like this are very important. Like just an attack increase, also accounting for her, giving her skill level ups, also stat increases, right? So getting dupes are going to be very important, but are they needed? No, they're not needed. However, over time, standard 5 stars are definitely going to get dupes in them. And then your 4 stars are pretty much going to be max duped almost without fail. They're not something you need to chase. Same as weapons. You don't need to chase weapons. You don't need to get the best weapon. Okay, you don't need to get everyone's 5-star signature weapon, but will people profit from them? Yes. Is it a necessity? Not always, and almost always it's a no. You do not need them. But in terms of like on this screen, we talked about leveling up, ascending or breakthroughing, getting your weapon up. These are the 2 that you start with. These are the 2 most important, right? And of course, the weapons, you're going to get, I think, 2 from the Luful's business plan. So, you know, make sure for your 5 stars that you're going to build, you do that. And then for Joker, I would not summon on his banner, by the way. It's just not really worth it. It's like getting that weapon, it's just too many crystals, too much currency to actually use. Then of course, gear is going to be very important, okay? Make sure that you're getting the right gear sets, that it's all good, right? And that the main stats especially. Don't worry about substats until later. And if you're worrying about substats and you're able to worry about substats, then you probably don't need this video. And then of course, get the skill levels up. However, there is one more thing that we have to talk about. If you go to your palace, this is going to be very important to actually get the stats up. And essentially, bro, he's so cute. He's actually cute as hell. If you press, is it X? Yes. If you press X, basically, you're going to have a bunch of these, well, props that they're calling them. And basically, each one, the translation's a bit slow right now. I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi, but essentially, certain ones are actually going to give stat bonuses, right? So you're going to be able to get stat bonuses on these. And for example, during the battle, the impact damage of our own members increased by 1%. Then, well, let's see what this one is. So damage in Door of the Suffering battle increased by 1.5. And then let's see if we can find another one. Oh, this is probably one. The therapeutic effect of our own members increased by 0.5%. So it's going to be little increases, but they're going to start adding up over time. And if we check over here, there's also going to be more that you're able to get. Now, some of these, it's really going to depend. Let me find some. Yeah, sorry, it's the second tab. So you can see here, if your palace level is 35 and if your rating is 90 points, then for example, you get 10 attack power, right? So basically, some you're able to buy and some there's certain conditions. Okay, some you could buy with these the coins on top, and some it's very much going to be conditions. So is it going to be the biggest increases? 10 attack power, is it a lot? No, but these are going to maybe start adding up. Even for Wonder, it could start adding up with the health increase. So that is definitely going to be quite good, right? All things considered, adding these stats up, even a 1, 2, 3, 5% damage increase is going to start stacking up. And then, of course, for Wonder, how are you really going to get him up? Well, the main thing, you tell him. The main thing is going to be getting up the account level because he is basically locked to the account level right now being 80, right? And then, of course, getting the tree up is very important, but this I don't really have to tell you. However, in most cases, focus just on getting also the support, right? You don't really need the damage for him. He's not going to be a DPS. He's going to be a support. So that's the only really good way to run him. And then for the weapon, obviously, get his weapon up. This is pretty obvious. I don't even need to tell you guys. He's going to need a good weapon, right? And then, of course, we're just going to finish it off. You're going to get your personas, right? You're going to get your personas. Make sure you get them up, and make sure in general, I would say you're going to want to go more towards support, because supports are in general going to be better for Wonder, because you can't be a good DPS, because if they made him a good DPS, you would never really summon on DPSs again, where for supports, there's so many different instances, so many different types of supports. I think it's better that they did make him a support, especially because he is universal and always on the team. I think it just works better, right? I do think it works better. So for Wonder, really get the tree up, get his weapon up, and make sure his personas are constantly updated, especially early on. You don't need to grind for stamina, but then afterwards, you're going to, let's get out of here. You're going to want to start them. I don't know what's up with the translations right now. Usually they're really quick. You're going to start grinding more for personas and more for gear. As you go on, you're going to slowly stop. Like earlier on, it's going to be more character levels, weapon levels, all your good stuff that you're able to get on this page. And then later on, it's going to start becoming, especially like level 60, 70, 80, it's going to start becoming more so the personas, and then especially the gear, right? The gear is going to be very important. Gear can be a make or break, and usually late game is what people spend most of the time on. So that's basically it. All I have to say. I mean, listen, it's a simple video. I'm not going to deny that. I think some people would not have known about the thing in the metaverse though. So if you press, sorry, not the metaverse, the palace, if you press R, you're able to press X afterwards, press X. That's why I got it mixed up. If you press X here, then you're able to kind of get these up over time and just kind of focus on these, and then you'll be good. So that's really going to be it. I'm just here for the new gacha players and for those who maybe didn't know about or maybe would never have known about this to really go crazy on that, right? There's a lot of other things to make sure you get a lot of stamina and all that, but in general, this is going to be basically how it is. If you want to see some mistakes not to make, check out that video. I did make it, but besides that, I'm done. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. I hope you guys had a wonderful time playing the game if you've already played it or if you're about to play it. Like the video, subscribe for more content. I'll see you soon.